Let's get started, and as usual I will leave all the ingredients in the description box down below. Now we're gonna get started with our spinach, and in my pot I added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, and I'm adding 2 chopped onions. Then today I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of garlic. We're gonna saute that together for about a minute or two, then we're gonna continue with our recipe. Alright, so now I have my chopped potatoes. Guys, I don't like boiling my potatoes when it comes to spinach because it's either they become way too mushy or the spinach has way too much water for me, so I don't. I rather just fry them. So I'm just gonna add my potatoes and fry them with the onions for about 8 to 10 minutes. Reduce your heat to a low heat so that they don't burn. Keep stirring so that they don't burn as well. This is how they look after about 8 to 10 minutes. This way also preserves their firmness, that texture. Now I'm gonna add my mild and spicy curry powder. I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of the curry powder. I'm also gonna add some barbecue spice, but this is optional as well. You can omit, you can add, or any other spice that you have. Chicken spice would also do very well in this dish. I also added 2 teaspoons of that. Now I'm gonna stir that all together, and I'm gonna cook it down further for another 8 to 10 minutes, but this time I'm gonna close. Remember, very low heat so the potatoes don't stick at the bottom and they don't burn. After about 8 minutes, I'm gonna add just a teensy beany tiny amount of water, not a lot, just to enhance the cooking process of the potatoes so that they can cook, right? And I'm gonna add a little bit of some salt. Then we're gonna add some water. I don't add a lot of water because the spinach also has its own moisture. So you add water, the spinach has its moisture, and everything just becomes soup. We ain't trying to make soup. I'm gonna add my spinach. I made 2 bundles of spinach. I don't know how much that is, but yeah. I'm gonna add that in, then I'm gonna close my pot to let it wilt down. I'm gonna mix it through once it's wilt and add more spinach. This time I'm not gonna close, I'm just gonna mix it through because now it's easier to mix through. And yeah, I also didn't want to use a bigger pot because I know spinach, you think you got a lot, but no, guess what, you don't. You got even triple or quadruple the amount you thought you had. It's even less. Now I'm gonna add some garlic powder. After cooking down all that spinach, I close it and cook it down for about 15 minutes. Now after 15 minutes, I'm gonna open my pot and add this garlic and onion stock powder. It's very delicious, guys. It's very, very delicious, trust me. I'm gonna mix this through. I didn't add any water with my stock powder. Remember, I don't want soupy spinach, guys. It has enough moisture on its own, so we don't necessarily have to add a lot of water. Our spinach is basically ready, guys. It's super ready. It's delicious. Check for your salt. Remember, the stock powder also has a little bit of salt, so yeah, you can kind of gauge through that. I'm gonna cook it down further for another 5 minutes so that the stock powder can just dissolve and mend with everything and become so flavorful. So that's done. Now we're gonna get started with our chicken feet, my favorite recipe. I added about 2 tablespoons of oil. Then I'm gonna add my mixed red bell pepper, yellow and the green, and I'm gonna add 1 chopped onion. I don't necessarily like eating boma chicken feet or mohodu or what, but when I do, can I just, can I just? Then I'm gonna add about 1.5 teaspoon of crushed chilies. Guys, I love chilies in chicken feet because wow, it's so nice. It's tangy, but it's not overly powering. You can also try to gauge the amount of chili that you want in your pot. I'm also gonna add this flavorful and mild curry powder. Guys, thank God for the God of curry powder that can make all these different flavors, and they're all so delicious. I almost cursed right there. But yeah, so we're gonna stir that in together, and then I'm gonna add some garlic salt. If you don't want to add garlic salt, you can opt to add crushed garlic instead and just add normal salt, or add some aromat for seasoning, aromat and black pepper. Then I'm gonna add my chicken feet, which I just gave a pedicure. They look all nice and pretty. I don't like the nails, guys. Who eats the nails anyway? They're just a hindrance in you enjoying the food. Now you must. Oh no, trim it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't do this every time, but when I'm feeling like doing it, I do it. I did it for you guys to see and for presentation purposes. You know what I mean? We're gonna stir that in. And guys, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers. Can you please share, like, comment? If you like, the more YouTube recommends my videos to other people, and the more subscribers you can get, the more community grows. And yeah, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of soy sauce and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. With these, be careful because everything here has salt, so you just gotta gauge and in moderation. So you don't want your dish to become overly salty. I'm gonna add some black pepper, and this spice, I love it so much. Portuguese steak, I was introduced to the spice by my dad, and the first time I was introduced to it, my little sister made chips and they added that spice, and it was bomb, and from that day I was sold. So try that spice. Then we're just gonna mix everything through. And also, chicken feet are so cheap, guys. This was 45 rand at ShopRite. I think 45 rand is about what, $2, £1. So affordable, so cheap. Okay, now that's nice. We're gonna add some 1 chicken stock cube. You can alternate with beef stock, chili beef stock, mutton, whatever flavor that you want. The recipe that I posted on Facebook, I used beef. Now I'm gonna add my Italian herbs. You can opt for using thyme and rosemary only, or thyme only. I chose the Italian herbs because they don't have basil. I don't really like basil. It just gives this awkward taste. So it's a mixture of sage, marjoram, oregano, thyme, and rosemary. It doesn't have basil. The other one, I think it's mixed herbs have basil. I don't like basil that much. So I'm gonna add some water. I added enough water for me to get the gravy that I want. I love gravy, guys. I love it, especially when having pap. I love gravy. I don't like dry food. Just cook this through for about 40 to 45 minutes. It depends on the thickness of your chicken feet. Mine was really thick, so I put an extra time, but normally it will be like 30 minutes or so. It will be done. And this time I didn't really need to thicken the sauce. Like, baby, I didn't need to thicken the sauce. The sauce was thick enough. And yeah, I hope you try the recipe, guys. I served with the spinach and the creamy pap. And yeah, I'm gonna post the cream pap soon, so stay tuned for that. You want to taste that because, honey, the flavors are communicating. They are saying yes. That's the pop, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up so people can watch it and come to the community. I hope you give it a try, and I'll see you on the next one. Follow me on my social media page.